welcome back to my channel. Welcome, of course, back to the desk corner, and welcome to a very exciting video. I bought a brand new set of watercolors prior to Christmas, and they've just been sitting here waiting to be unboxed because I knew I wanted to do a video about them. So today that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to unbox these for the first time and create a swatch chart and share my thoughts with you guys. They are the Sennelier or Sennelier, I don't know how to pronounce it. My French vocabulary is limited to like 200 words, but they are the Sennelier watercolors and they are an artist grade watercolor set. I have not actually ever had an artist grade watercolor set. I've always used student grade, which isn't to be confused with school grade, but I don't really know exactly what the differences are. I've just heard that these ones are better quality, and I just really wanted to try them out. It's been years since I bought myself a watercolor set. I splurged and bought the 48 set because I wanted a more full range of colors. I know you're supposed to mix, but I just decided why not buy the 48 set. On the box up here, it says that these are honey-based and the color palette of the Impressionists. Okay, on the back here it does say that the honey acts as a preservative and an additive. I don't really know much about watercolor paints, you guys. I am not a professional. I'm a pencil artist mostly, so I just am recently interested in watercolors. So anybody who's a watercolor artist watching this, yeah, you can feel free to explain anything because I don't really know a lot about watercolors. Let's go ahead and get right into this box. So I won't lie, I've actually opened the box itself before just to make sure that this was in there. I mean, I bought these from Amazon. I always like to make sure that everything is there, but I have not looked at the actual colors yet. So it comes with this cute pamphlet like most art sets do. It has a timeline here, and then we have some pages about other mediums, things like that. I've actually never tried any type of medium from this brand before. This brand was actually recommended to me, otherwise I probably would have never found it. The booklet does say that there are 98 colors altogether, so I have the 48 set, which is plenty. This comes in a really beautiful metal tin. I've actually never had watercolors in a metal tin because I have a Cotman travel set, I believe, so it's a plastic container that it comes in, and the metal tin is just very pretty and professional looking. So this is what it looks like. It has the brand name here. Okay, and then when you open it, it's a lot of room here. I might have to zoom out a little bit. We've got room for mixing. I also have some separate palettes that I like to use for mixing as well, but you can mix in the tin. Even more room for mixing on this side. Ooh, look at these. Ooh, how exciting. Okay, now I kind of want to zoom back in actually because there's a little sheet on the top and it explains what color each pan is, and then it also has, what else does it say on it? It has numbers and stars. I'm guessing that the stars are for light fastness because that's how they are for colored pencils. Isn't that just a gorgeous range though, you guys? I could not resist buying the 48 set with all of these beautiful greens and blues, and the 24 set was kind of red and pink heavy, so I wanted more of a range here. What also drew me to this set is that it includes Payne's Gray, which is my absolute favorite color for shadow tones with watercolor and with colored pencils as well. And then it also has an ivory black too, in case I wanted to use black, which I don't mind that at all. And it has a couple different browns like raw umber, raw sienna, burnt umber, and warm sepia. So, oh, it even has a couple more than that actually. Since I am a pencil artist, I'm used to having at my disposal all the different types of colors without having to mix much. I mean, I'm still going to end up mixing regardless, but I do like having the browns ready for me without me having to mix browns like I usually do in my other set, my Cotmans that I have. So I'm definitely going to keep this little plastic sheet here so that I can do my swatch chart properly, and also for reference in the future, just to have that is nice and handy so I can see the light fastness, which I assume that's what those stars stand for. But now I think, you guys, it's time for the big reveal. I'm going to remove this plastic sheet and just look at the colors themselves. here they are. I'm almost overwhelmed by the amount of colors that I have now. Like maybe the 48 set was a little bit too big, but they are all so beautiful. And since it's a metal tin, I'm pretty sure that these pans have magnets and they're stuck to the metal at the bottom, and that's how they're held in. Oh, it does come with a brush. I am not creating my swatch chart with this tiny brush though. So then this part is then removable, and then there's extra areas in there, but I don't think it's necessary for me to keep those. Oops, whoa. I don't want to break anything here. I'm already dropping things, but for me, I do have all this extra room here and also separate palettes anyways, so I think I'm just going to leave the pans in here, and I really love the metal tin also, and I like that there's room for the brushes. I just don't know if it's really, yeah, it wouldn't really fit a bigger brush. Someone gave me a tip to actually spray watercolors so that they're prepared with like a spray bottle before you use them, and that way they start to get a little bit wet and easier to remove when you go in with your brush. However, I don't know if I have a water spray bottle, so I'm going to take a quick look around and see if I do, and if not, I guess I'm just gonna have to go in with water and my brush and I won't be able to do that. But thank you to the person who gave me that tip, and I will keep that in mind. I need to buy a spray bottle in the future. Oh my goodness, I was attempting to pick out some of these pan holder things from the metal to see if anything's printed on them, and I dropped like 6 of them out of their pans. Or 6 of the pans out of the little holder things, and then I had to figure out where they were supposed to go because some of these yellows look pretty similar, and hopefully I put them back in the right spot. I think I'm just not going to mess with them anymore, and we should just start the swatch chart before I completely drop them out of their places. Here is my little swatch chart I made earlier. Please ignore the fact that these squares are not actually really very even, but I was kind of just anxious to get started with this video. We also have a little bit of a mess up here. It's watercolor though, it doesn't really matter. As you can see, I wanted to create pretty big squares to swatch the colors in so that I could get a really nice view, and then of course when it dries, or maybe before I do that, I should probably add the color names in. But what I'm going to do right now is rearrange this so that you guys have a nice view of what I'm doing in the swatch chart, and then I probably will play some nice relaxing music while I swatch these out, and then I'll come back at the end to talk a little bit more about them. Before I do that though, I do have some little tester papers like this, and it's actually just because I had cut watercolor paper down and ended up with a bunch of scraps, and I like to use all my scraps at some point. So I do have this tester. I might actually test out just like the consistency of the paint and just get a feel for them, and then I'll go ahead and start with the swatch chart. It's more vibrant than I would have expected actually. I grabbed a little bit too much there at first because this new brush is still pretty like hard. So I think I might just use one of my older brushes for the purpose of swatching out the colors so that it goes by a little bit faster. Okay, there we go, you guys. My hand is in actually a lot of pain right now because every time I would move on to a new one, I would have to completely wash out my brush to make sure I didn't get any colors mixed in. And there were 48 colors to swatch. But besides that, I really like this set of colors. I did kind of a messy job with the swatch chart and I only did one layer so far. I might have to eventually add another layer, but my hand is far too cramped today to do that. Some of these colors, it's a little hard to tell them apart, so that's part of the reason I think that the second layer would help a little bit with that. But I think some of my favorites out of this set are the gold ochre down here, as well as the browns are very nice, and I do like phthalo green light and phthalo green deep. I like all of these colors. I'm just picking out my favorites right now. I'm not huge on the reds and pinks in general, even though I do use them sometimes, but I end up using the neutral colors a whole lot more. So there are 2 whole rows of neutral colors right here and natural looking colors. The brown pink is interesting to me. I wonder what pigments, I don't really know. And of course, I couldn't pick up a set that didn't include a hooker's green and a forest green, although this probably can get a lot darker. I just need to do a second layer on these. We also have our more natural looking reds up here. This is just so exciting for me to have such a large set of watercolors now. I did such a messy job here. There's colors bleeding into each other and things like that, but overall you can use this chart. I can use this chart to pick which colors are which, and that was the main point of it. I think that's going to be all for today's video. I'm not going to do a demonstration painting on this today because the swatch chart took up a lot of time and everything, but I will be doing a painting with these soon. I love that they come up extremely easily with paintbrush and water. You don't have to like scrub the pan or use a lot of pressure to get the paint off. They just come off very easily, thank goodness. Anyways, you guys, that was super fun for me to make. I'm still going to keep this to keep on top, or not even on top, but just to keep with the paint so that if they ever fall out or anything, I don't get any of those yellows mixed up while I'm still getting acclimated to them. I don't really know all the differences between them and I want to be careful here. And also, as I said before, it does have the light fastness rating, I believe, on here as well. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I was so excited to open these. Don't forget to comment down below, leave your thoughts and opinions, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys, thanks for watching.